There we go. Okay. Three, two, one. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 520, the Tranquil Podcast. Tranquil is an avian Pokemon that is gray with lighter gray and black markings. Its beak and eyes are yellow, and there's a dark pink marking above its beak that curves back over the eyes. It has a black tuft of two feathers on its head and a petal-like arrangement of feathers on the nape of its neck. There's a black stripe on each of its light gray, black-tipped wings. Each pink foot has black talons. It possesses a long tail feather that is tipped in black. No matter how far Tranquil travels, it is always able to return to its trainer. It is said to live in deep forests where there is a peaceful place without war. Well, that sounds lovely. Blah, 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 anime stuff. You know the deal. It is number 520. It is a normal flying type Pokemon. 50% are male, 50% are female, so pretty good. And that's all I got for you this week. So there's your Pokemon. Yeah, if you didn't already notice or couldn't tell if you're just listening to the audio version, it's just me again this week. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, I have a message from Nintendo. He was saying I said I would invite him if I had a one-man show again. I wasn't expecting to do a one-man show. I wasn't expecting to do the podcast on a not normal day today. Usually we do them on Saturdays, you guys know, but today is Friday. So Nintendo and I apologize. This was more of a last-minute thing. I would love to do a show with just you, but I'd have to do it on my desktop. I'm at my desktop now, but I'm recording on the laptop. I want to make sure I'd have like everything set up wired for internet and everything like that, because on the live stream laptop, I'm just doing wireless. So I'd want to make sure I'm wired in if I'm going to broadcast the show live and have you stream in. So yes, I apologize. Nothing against you, Nintendo, and it's just the circumstances today. But yeah, I'm doing the show on my own today because some family stuff came up for tomorrow, and we will not be around. So, we got to do a show today. We're not going to miss a show. I don't remember if we've ever done a show on a Sunday when there was an instance of us not being... I mean, it seems like out of 520 shows, one of them might have been not possible to do on a Saturday, and we moved it to a Sunday, but can't remember any of them. But yes, it is a Friday. I am alone, and I am doing the podcast, and it's an important... Well, none of the podcasts are important. It's just for fun, but... it's a special day. Today is Webisode 520. So that means today is the official 10th anniversary of the podcast. We've been doing the GoNintendo podcast for 10 years, which is absolutely insane. It seems like we just did the 500th episode. And we did. It was 20 weeks ago, though. And here we are, 20 episodes later. We're officially at the 10-year mark, which is nuts. I can't believe I've been doing the show that long. And I am very proud to say that I am the only podcast member that has been on every single episode. There's been others that have been close, but that's right, G-Man, sir. I'm not alone. I have you guys. That's true. Thank you. But yeah, I've been on every single episode. I've been on episodes where I barely had a voice, been on episodes where I felt like garbage, been on episodes where it was just me before, been on episodes that have had lots of people, done two-man shows. I've done it all, baby. I've done it all. But here I am, episode 520. 10 years. That means over 10 years of GoNintendo, because I didn't start the podcast. Well, I think man, that's a good question. That's something for the podcast historians, of which I know there are a lot. Asked them if I started the podcast before GoNintendo was around, or if it was always the GoNintendo podcast. I honestly can't remember. I think I started when I was doing the old Blogspot site, but I'm not certain. But yeah, it definitely means I've been working on the internet, running a website for over 10 years, which again is nuts because, you know, I was going to college for computer stuff to be like a systems analyst or anything like that. Uh, Never had any expectations of doing anything on the internet for a living, nor did I expect to be doing something that didn't even exist back then. When I was going to college, you know, there was obviously internet, but bloggers were not a thing, and blogs weren't really a thing. And to think of having a job that you could work on the internet was nothing that ever crossed my mind. But like I've said before, I've told this story, so I'll go with the quick version. Signed up for another site to write for them. Came down to me and another person after like 4 weeks of different stuff. And they picked the other person, and I was like, oh, I'll start a blog just for the hell of it. And I did, and I was like, oh, people are reading it. So I stuck with it. And then when it got too big for Blogspot, I switched it over to GoNintendo.com, and the rest is history. So yeah, I've been doing the podcast almost as long as I've been working on the internet. And it's nuts. Here I am all these years later. Am I going to be here in another 10 years working on GoNintendo? I would like to say yes. I would hope that's what I'm doing. But you never know. I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. Maybe people won't be going on the internet to read websites anymore. Maybe we'll all be, I don't know, have stuff beamed directly into our brain. Like I said, when I started this, I didn't know blogs weren't a thing. So 10 years from now, maybe we'll all be getting our information another way. But for now, the site continues and the podcast continues. And obviously, I wouldn't have made it to episode 520 without wonderful support from my friends in real life, because they've been on the show. And they put aside time each week to come and be a part of the show. And they like being a part of the show, and they like you guys. And it's like I've said many times before, it's an excuse for all of us to get together and hang out, which is great because my friends are super important to me. And I've been very lucky to have a big group of core friends that have stuck with me, and we hang out every week and see each other quite often. But the podcast is always a good excuse to get together because we do the show, have fun with that, and then, you know, hang out afterwards. Come at you, you're not going to be able to stand there. So yeah, I mean, let's see if I can go down the list and not upset anyone. I got to give thanks to John the Savage and Nikki Hill and Lube and Mom Brain and Kirby and R-Type and Vitamin G and Do and Lisa and Stinky B and man, I should have wrote this stuff down because I know I'm going to forget people. And all the other people that popped. Oh, of course, Nintendo. I forgot my own sister. And Donnie back when he was on it. And Rinsa, if that was her name, which I don't remember. Lots of people. There's been some people that have been on hundreds and hundreds of shows, and other people that have been on maybe one or two. Mr. Bryan, I think, was on a couple there. So I appreciate it, obviously. And I want to thank all you guys that have been listening this long. And the most amazing thing about that is we have more listeners now than we ever did. You would think the show would wane in popularity over the years, but each year it continues to grow, and we get more listeners and more subscribers. So it's pretty amazing to see that more people are downloading it each year. So thank you for all of you that have subscribed to the show on iTunes or whatever platform you're using. And thanks to those of you that watch the video recording, because we started doing video of the show a while back, but not super long ago, we moved it over to YouTube, and it seems like that's the platform everybody's really happy with. So we have the archive show there right afterwards, and people watch that every week too, which it blows my mind because I know it's usually a static camera. I try and move it around lately to get other people in the shop, but it's just me and the rest of the crew BSing about Nintendo for an hour and whatever, hour and a half, and people are watching every week, which is pretty damn cool. So like I said, the download, the video stream, and then the people that watch live, which is, even crazier because you're taking time out of your day to come in and watch the show when you could be, I don't know, doing anything else, eating, playing games, taking a nap, hanging with friends. You make the time and the effort to come and watch the show live. So I greatly appreciate that, because the live viewers and listeners are an important part of the show, because we talk to you guys. Like right now, I know this is a last-minute live show, but there's people in here watching. There's people on the chat. So thank you to all of you that do that. And a hello to G-Man Sir and DJ Riv and I Haley and whoever else I can't say in there, Dr. Zim, Twisted N, and all the regulars that usually come in. And I also have to thank the people that comment on news stories, because we read your comments, and that's a big part of the show. So thank you to everybody that leaves comments. And more recently, we've started, I guess since episode 500, we've started Twitter questions. So we've been getting a lot more commentary from you guys, which is cool for me, because I really like hearing what you guys have to say. And you've been great with posting on Twitter and leaving responses and getting active with the questions and retweeting them to people. So thank you. That's been a fun part of the show for me. And hopefully for you, because, you guys are listening, but I want your voices to be heard. I want you guys to be able to get out there and talk about how you feel on certain subjects. So thank you. So yeah, 520 shows. That's pretty crazy. I did not expect it to be going this long, but I have no reason to believe it's going to stop. It's a constant. It's something I can always depend on to be there. And yes, I'm the one that's doing it, but it's just cool to know that every week we can get together and make something for you guys, and you'll take it. And we've heard all kinds of great stories. People listening to it on their way to work while they're driving in. People listening to it on their commutes to work or school, sitting on trains or buses or any other public transportation, or sitting in a room of friends and listening, or just listening to it while you're getting some work done at home, and all kinds of cool stuff. It's pretty crazy to think that people do that. And you guys always send in wonderful comments about the show and say wonderful things. And we have great people like Moldy Clay and Poop Loop making artwork for the show. It's crazy. I do not deserve all the great stuff that came with this podcast, and all the wonderful emails and all the fantastic people I've met. And it's very humbling. I can't tell you how much I greatly appreciate it. It's been very cool. It gave me a whole bunch of things in my life and a whole bunch of feelings and experiences that I would have never expected. So thank you. G-Man Sir is talking about the Metroid Other M painting that I have behind me on the live stream. There you go. And he's asking me if I'm ever going to remove it. I may not like Other M, but I do really like that painting, so I'm keeping that. As much as King Broly would hate that, I'm keeping it. Because I can respect the artwork outside of the game. And then also back there, underneath that, is a Cave Story painting. Because, gotta do those plugs. Nicholas is sponsoring GoNintendo for the year. That painting's always there. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and look for other live streams that I've done from my office. It's always there. Thank you, My Body is Ready. That's very nice of you to say. He says, we appreciate you, RMC. We wouldn't be such an awesome community without you. Well, I would not be in the awesome position or have the awesome opportunities I do without you guys. So thank you. Yes, Nicholas is. I feel like I should say it every show just because, I think it's cool. And it also explains why I can't talk about certain games. But Nicholas is the sponsor of GoNintendo for a year. That year's been going on for about a month and a half now. And that gets us 90% of the time an ad-free site. GoNintendo will not have click-throughs or pop-ups or leaderboards or banners or any of that jazz. Just a nice ad-free reading experience for you guys to enjoy. And right now on the site, we have a good example of what our sponsorship is when there's something from Nicholas. If you go to the site, you see a Binding of Isaac banner, the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. There's a banner for it. It's at the top of the site. That's all there is to it. That's all you're going to see, really. Sometimes there'll be stuff on the left and the right-hand side of the site, the the borders of the site, but it'll be just like that banner that's up there now. So very, very muted, not in your face, not screaming, not making noise, not animating, nothing like that. Just there's the game that's going on. You should check it out. I'd love to tell you my thoughts about the game, but that will have to be after this year, because I don't want people saying, you're talking about a game and saying this, that, or the other thing because you're being paid to. I would never do that, first off, but just to make sure we don't get into anything like that. Won't talk about it. Something else about Gusty Garden says, I missed the Monster High ads. They are the main reason I came to the site. Yeah, well, the Monster High ads, I got nothing against Monster High. Let me make that clear. But those Monster High ads were very annoying. Loud, animated. If you're on mobile, they would take up the entire screen. You'd have to X out of them. And again, that is not something I wanted. That's not something I signed up for. That's not something I gave the okay on. They were there by accident, and we worked hard to get rid of them, and we would get rid of those and something else would pop up, literally pop up. So yes, that definitely motivated me to get to where I am now. And after this year's over, who knows what will happen? I mean, we might have to go back to traditional advertising. I would love to find a way where we didn't have to do that, but I would guess that's the most likely. I've toyed with the idea of Patreon, but I really don't like that. Because obviously, if I'm going to do Patreon, I would have to make something monetarily. I would have to make something comparable to what I'm making now, because this is my job. This is how I pay my bills, and this is how we live where I am in this palatial palace. So yeah, Patreon would be very rough, and I know friends of ours have done Patreon, and I don't know what their expectations are or what levels they need to hit as far as revenue goes, in order to sustain the way they live or do what they need to do. But my understanding is, with Patreon, you have a few people that are very lucky and end up making, what they need to make, if not more, by a good amount. But there's many others that do not get the support that they deserve or should be getting. I know our friend Josh Thomas with the BitBlock has done a Patreon to support his content because he's having trouble with YouTube claims from Nintendo. So he's trying to work it in a way so that he doesn't have to worry about monetizing ads and stuff, or monetizing videos. So he's doing a Patreon. And again, I don't know what his goal is as far as money. I don't know what his what he's looking to get, what he needs to get, or if there is an amount he needs. But I know he's trying hard to get that going. Our friends at Nintendo Everything are also doing one because they're having struggles with site costs. So they're running a Patreon. It's just tough, I know people struggle with having people pay for like content. You're basically paying to run the site, so that you don't want to. Personally, I wouldn't want to get into like pay go through Patreon and get exclusive features. Like I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel right to me. I'm not knocking others that do that. Just saying I personally wouldn't want to do that. So yeah, long story. If we were to do a Patreon a year from now, that'd be, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't see it working out. I don't see it getting to the amount that I would need. I'm talking about a base amount to at least somewhat match what I would make to continue running the site, paying for all the things that go into the site, like hosting, and then, regular day-to-day expenses. It'd be an interesting thing to try for sure, but I couldn't have that as my only thing. Like I couldn't say like, I'm just going to do Patreon and we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, I have savings obviously, but I feel I'd be quickly depleted and I'd get back to a spot where I was 10 years ago where GoNintendo was taking off and I had to sell some prized possessions to pay hosting bills. But things worked out. So yeah, lots of interesting things to think about with that. But when it comes to Patreon, whenever you're following someone, a site, a YouTube personality, whatever it may be, and they're posting about a Patreon. I know a lot of times people just skip right over those and say, whatever, I'm not paying for anything. You could give it a look, see what they're talking about, see why they need it, see why they feel it's something they should do. Game Freak says you can have a supplement your ads. That's true. I could take the approach of doing less ads, or doing maybe ads that aren't as annoying, and see where that comes out as far as money, and then supplement the rest with Patreon. That's certainly an interesting idea. You know, these are things I struggle with GoNintendo, because I personally do not like advertising on the site. This year for me is great, and like I've said in the past, I've taken a pay cut to do it because of how embarrassed I was with how things went last year, especially towards the end of it. It was embarrassing. So it was important to me to do this for you guys, because you guys are the reason I have so many things and have had so many amazing experiences and get to play games at press events and just run this. You are the reason for my living. This is how I make my living, and that would not be possible without you. So if I can do something to show you that love back and that appreciation back, which is what I'm doing this year, it's my pleasure. G-Man Star says, how much does Pornhub pay for ad space? Pornhub is very active on Twitter. I should tweet them and say, hey, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the site, but a couple of years ago, I had an extremely lucrative offer from a porn site to do ads on GoNintendo. And they were like, we'll do 1 day a week, and it'll be for 1 hour during that day. And it was, if I'm being honest, turning down that amount of money was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And people think I'm crazy for doing it. But I'm not doing this. I'm not telling you guys this to make you feel like, oh, he's such a great guy or anything. It's just, I'm being completely honest with you guys. It was a monumental sum of money, but I could not do that because it did not feel right. And the ads wouldn't have had like nudity in them or anything, but it would have very clearly advertised for a specific porn site. And I could not do that. It's not right. It's not right for GoNintendo. It's not right for the viewers of GoNintendo. I know we have adults reading us, obviously, but there's obviously not adults reading us. So I could not do it, and I had some people that were very angry at me, but I couldn't do it. And I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with that. It wasn't the right thing to do. Money isn't everything. As much as money helps with certain things, money is certainly not everything. So that ship has sailed, and it helped us get to where we are now, which is a fantastic deal I could have never thought would have been possible. So a huge thank you to the people at Nicholas for that, because they love GoNintendo. And like I've said before, Nicholas is Tyrone Rodriguez I've been friends with for a very long time. And he's scatterbrained, and he's crazy, and he's one of the best people I know. He is he's very I don't know how to say it without I'm gonna tear up. He really believes in GoNintendo, and I appreciate it. He knows how hard the last few months were for GoNintendo when it comes to that advertising, and how upset I was with that. It was a really tough time because I was so upset with how you guys were being treated, and it really bothered me. I'm sorry for getting worked up, but yes, Nicholas stepped in and made an awesome opportunity. So I hope people, even if you're not a fan of Nicholas's games, I hope people that visit GoNintendo respect what that company did for us. It's very cool of them. I said last night that I might get teary-eyed. I just didn't expect to have it come up during this discussion. But if you need proof that I love GoNintendo, this is this is the proof. I honest to God love you guys, and I work very hard to make sure you have the best experience you can. So hopefully you feel some of that. There's something exciting I wanted to tell you. Oh yeah, I don't know if how much I've actually talked about this openly, but you might remember like 25 weeks ago, 24 weeks ago, something like that. We were doing, we had somebody lurking in the background on the video podcasts, and they were taking pictures and recording video and doing all kinds of stuff, and we've been very sneaky about it. We haven't said anything about what it was or what was going on, but you should be finding out about that very soon. I'll just tell you, because it should be soon. There was for the 500th show, there was a documentary filmed about GoNintendo, mostly about the podcast, because it was our 500th podcast. But it was a bit about the site and the podcast specifically. And we did interviews with the podcast members and myself, and footage of the whole place, like our GoNintendo headquarters, the warehouse, footage of the whole joint, and like I said, the people we work with, and just how we put a show together, and what we do after a show, and what it takes to put together all this stuff that goes into it, and then talk about specifically my life and how it's been shaped by the podcast and you guys and the site in general. So I think I don't know how long it's gonna. Now this isn't something we commissioned. Like, someone reached out to me and said they really wanted to do it, and they were actually going to use it as their final film for college, like their final college presentation. And I was like, that would be amazing. I would love to do that. So we lucked out in that respect, and it was somebody that lived somewhat close, who made the travel out to record these shows and do the interviews and everything. I think it's going to be, I don't know how long. I think it was originally going to be like 10 minutes, but might be a lot longer. I don't know if it's going to be a half hour or something like that. But it's going to be really cool. I haven't seen it yet. Like, I've seen snippets, and obviously I was here when it was recorded. But I'm very excited to see it. I want to see how it came out. And there were on the side interviews. Like, people came into my office, we closed the door, and they would do interviews. So I know what I said, but I don't know what everybody else said. There were a couple round table interviews where I was there and I heard what everybody else said, but one-on-one interviews. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. So you'll get to see how the podcast is made, like how the connection to all of our friends and how they feel about video games in general and why they're a part of the show. You'll get to see our whole place where we live and where GoNintendo's run. You'll get to see what I do day to day. It's going to be cool. All right, hopefully it's going to be cool. Maybe it might be boring and I'll think it's really interesting. But I'm excited to see it. So obviously when it's live and I get the word, I'll be able to share it with you guys. I'll post it on GoNintendo. And whenever that happens, I'll make sure to mention it on the podcast as well, so you can go check it out. But yeah, it should be soon. I think August. Obviously, it's been in the works for quite some time, but yeah, it sounds like August is going to be it. So look forward to that, because I'm looking forward to that. Should be cool. So yeah, I guess we should. I mean, I got all the sappy stuff out of the way. I got all the important stuff out of the way. I talked about the 520th episode. All that jazz, explains why I'm doing it today. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, we'll do some regular news. Now I'll talk about what we played or what I played. You guys can tell me what you played later too. But let's get some regular news done. Europe, this week's digital downloads. What did they get? They got Badland, Game of the Year edition. I played Badland on my cell phone. Yes. So my cell phone or on the Fire TV, I don't remember. But I'm not trying to be mean, but it didn't really tickle my fancy. But this is the Game of the Year edition, so maybe I need to give this one a shot. Full HD visuals, 100 single-player levels, local multiplayer fun for up to 4 players. There are 27 different deathmatch stages, and 100 levels of the co-op campaign. From what I remember, it was just fly left to right, get to the end of a level. maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I have to check out this new version. Legend of K Anniversary, believe it or not, it has finally launched. After multiple delays, it is available. You can get it. We've seen footage and posted footage of it. It's real. It exists, so it's out there. I've never played it on any of its formats in any version. So, you know, it looks like a generic beat 'em up platformer adventure game. I'm cool with that, though. Sometimes that fills a nice void, especially in today's day and age. Just Dance 2016 got a demo. This is a demo for the Wii U version, and it does support the iOS or Android app that lets you turn your phone into a controller and allows for up to 6 players to play. So again, this is the demo. And the demo is also compatible with Wii remotes for up to 4 players. So if you'd like to check out some of the songs, I mean, you know what Just Dance is like by now, but if you'd like to get a little taste of it and try it out on the Wii U and do the new app, you can do that. There's a special offer on Elliott Quest and a special offer on TNT Racers Nitro Machines Edition. On 3DS eShop is Picross E6, another 300 puzzles in Picross for you to enjoy. There's a new navigation feature that can be played in either Picross or Mega Picross mode. You can choose the animation for the puzzle screen, and blah, blah, blah. It's Picross. Also, a game adaptation of the intellectual property Lucky Luke and the Daltons, which us in North America are not familiar with, but Europeans know about. Flick Golf 3D, the, quote, world's most addictive handheld golf game, end quote, is now available on the 3DS if you'd like to check out what that's like. Nintendan has a video of it on his YouTube channel. So you can have a watch there. I'm a sucker for golf games, and this is more like it's like Monkey Target with golf, basically. I know there was Super Monkey Ball like golf mode, and Super Monkey Ball had Monkey Target, but it's kind of like those put together, except it's just a regular golf ball. There's a Hello Kitty the Magic Unicorn theme, Hello Kitty and Friends theme, the Cupido Hello Kitty theme, Blue Bubbles Hello Kitty theme. That's a submarine Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty Little Princess theme, and the Hello Kitty bundle. Discover all the new Hello Kitty wallpapers in this exclusive package. Special offers on Tomodachi Life, BitBoy Arcade, Puzzle Box Setup, Code of Princess, Sayonara Umahara Kawase, Castle Conqueror Defender, Demon King Box, and Quell Memento. So there's quite a bit of content. The question is there stuff that people actually want to play? First comment comes from Casey44, and he says, Badlands sounds interesting. We'll have to look into it. This pleases my bad nipples. Yeah, like I said, watch some footage, or you can always download a mobile version, give it a shot, see what you think. Gusty Gardens says we need another Ninja Golf. I mean, Ninja anything is cool by me, so I'm down with that. New content update coming for Splatoon on August 6th. Lots of content, including 2 new matchmaking modes, new weapon types, an increase to the game's level cap, and more than 40 pieces of new gear. Players will be able to create a winning strategy and fight to be the best and the most battle-tested Squid Squad around. You're going to get squad battle and private battle matchmaking. Squad battle players can participate in ranked battle rule sets with friends rather than being teamed up with other players through a random selection. Private battle friends can splat it up in a private customizable match. 2 to 8 friends can battle together by selecting their favorite map, mode, and weapons. The number of participants ranges from 1 to 1 to 4 to 4, but teams don't have to be even. If the host chooses, you can do 1 versus 4, 1 versus 2, or any other combination you'd like. So that's pretty damn cool. If you think you're really good at Splatoon and you could kick your friend's ass, you could say, like, 4-on-1. I can do it. Try and take me down. Increased level cap in both regular battle and ranked battle modes. You will be able to reach level 50. So the current cap is level 20. So they're more than doubling it. Because remember, Nintendo was like, we are surprised you guys hit level 20. And quite frankly, we're a little worried that you're playing it too much. And there's also rank S and S plus in ranked battle, which is obviously higher than A. Or A plus, for that matter. New weapon types will be in the update. The bucket-like slosher weapon hurls ink straight ahead at an impressive range. By adjusting the angle, these new weapons can be used to splat opponents who are up high or even on the other side of a wall. And then there's the Gatling-style Splatling, which is a all-powerful. Sorry, you can charge it. Maximum charge unleashes the full potential of this particular weapon type. In addition to the new weapons, more than 40 pieces of gear, including everything from a leather jacket to a sushi chef costume. And they say that the massive update in August is not the end of the new free content on the way. They're constantly rolling out other stuff. And they say look through the rest of summer and into fall to get stuff like the Rainmaker ranked battle mode, additional maps, and new weapons. More details in the future. And we also learned that the update will let you link up 8 Wii U's together in one house, like in one location. So you need 8 Wii U's, 8 copies of Splatoon, and 8 TVs. Get them all on one internet connection, and then you can have like a LAN party, a Splatoon LAN party. I am down for that, man. I've already been talking to people about it. Like I said, we have 6 people locally who are down for the action. So I am excited. I want to try that out. First comment comes from Denvy, and they say, this is pretty rad. Picked up the game this weekend. Does anyone know if there has been any updates to the Battle Dojo over the past couple months? I have limited internet, so offline 1 versus 1 is usually what I play. I know their focus is online, so I don't expect it. Still excited for when I get to hook it up, though. Man, a single-player Splatoon player, someone playing single-player Splatoon as their focus. I did the 8-player thing, so we're done with that. Man, I'm excited for that 8-player. I hope people take advantage of that. I can't wait to see some footage of people setting it up. Game Freak says, do we need 8 Wii U's or can it be up to 8 Wii U's? It can be up to 8 Wii U's, I believe. God damn it. Now I clicked the wrong thing. Now I'm all screwed up. Oh, the show is going so well. Now it's going off the rails. Hold on one second. I'm going to read you the specific statement. What is this garbage? Specific statement, just so we have it right. Private battle. Private battle. 2 to 8 friends can battle together in customizable matches. Private battle also allows players to hold small-scale custom tournaments using up to 8 Wii U consoles. So up to. So 5, 7. So that's what it sounds like to me. That is very exciting. Equally exciting and what we were hoping for, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I kind of said this was going to happen. I said, I think this is the way it's going to go. Dragon Quest XI was announced, and it is coming to the 3DS. I said, Square Enix has said multiple times, as has Mr. Hori, the creator of Dragon Quest. He said, we bring Dragon Quest to the systems that are most popular in Japan. So they're bringing it to the PS4 and the 3DS. No surprise it's not coming to Wii U. Would have been lovely to see that. But it is confirmed for 3DS. And it's got a pretty unique feature on 3DS. You can play the game in... Now, I don't mean like eye-popping 3D. I mean like polygonal 3D or old-school 2D. So like old-school Dragon Quest or 3D polygon Dragon Quest. You can play either of those modes, which is really unique. So obviously one mode will have 2D sprites and overhead and more standard, or I guess not standard, but traditional old school RPG. And one will be for more modern players. So that's really interesting. I really like that idea. And there's some footage of that you can check out. And also worth mentioning, Square Enix, I think, let the cat out of the bag a little bit and then tried to dial it back. They also said that they had planned on bringing it to the NX, Nintendo's next, as far as we know, console. We've heard multiple times from Nintendo about the NX, and they said we're not going to hear anything about it until 2016 officially. But Reggie and some other people at Nintendo have said it is a console. Whether it's going to be more than that, we don't know. But sounds like a console. And if if Square Enix is planning on bringing Dragon Quest XI to it, more than likely it will be a console version of the game. So they pretty much said, hey, we're doing it for the NX. And then people are like, oh, a confirmed NX game. That's a big deal. And then they're like, oh, well, we'd like to bring it to the NX. It's under consideration. And I was like, no, the cat's already out of the bag. So it sounds like that's happening. And you know what else that sounds like? It sounds like people are working on the NX, or at least have specs. Obviously, I don't think they have hardware or anything to actually run games on at this point. But Nintendo's like, here's the specs that we're aiming for, and here are some of the features, and you guys can do what you want. So, you know, pre-planning stages, because what we also heard rumored from E3 was Nintendo was courting third parties at E3 2015 to bring them over to the NX. And we also heard that third parties were very happy with what they heard about the NX. So it leads you to believe that Nintendo's really going to try and remedy their third-party situation on the NX, because that's a killer for the Wii U, man. It's got great indie support, but very, very bad traditional third-party support. So it's not surprising for Nintendo to really try and fix that this time around. Whether they can do it, I don't know, because they've had third-party support issues on their consoles for a long time now, starting with the 64. GameCube was really hurting. Wii was such a... I don't even know what to say. Wii was like its own thing. Third parties flocked to it because it was so huge. But they definitely fell off towards the end, and Wii U's been really hurting. So I think Nintendo finally recognizes how much they need to remedy that for their next system. But yeah, there's more going on with NX than Nintendo has led us to believe. It might be further along in the planning process than we first thought. And maybe when we hear about it in 2016, we're going to get to see more of it than you would expect. Maybe more out of it than a traditional, you know, like first look at the system with like a, you know, promo video that gives us a basic idea of what it is. We might get to see more than that. And obviously people are worried about Zelda not hitting Wii U, despite Nintendo saying it would, because release date list came out and it's still said to be decided or whatever. But that's the same thing the last one said, so that's nothing new there. So if you're seeing any stories that are like, Zelda Wii U less likely to come out on the Wii U now because of that release date list, that's not true. It's the same thing it said 3 months ago, so nothing has changed there. But yes, Dragon Quest X, very interesting. At the very least, even if it doesn't end up coming to the NX, it is coming to the 3DS. Now, is it going to get localized? Square Enix isn't talking about that yet. Sissy Bok Bok has the first comment, and they say, awesome. So is this the Dragon Quest XI proper, just different? Or is it kind of a side game like Final Fantasy Revenant Wings? This is proper as far as I know. Obviously, I haven't played too many. If you want the official comment from Square Enix, they said, additionally, we are also considering launching on Nintendo's in-development NX platform. So, you know, they'd need to know a little bit about that system if they were considering it, because you can only consider it if you know a little bit about, like, you know, Nintendo's not going to say, we're making the NX, and that's the only thing they said. And Square Enix is like, well, maybe we should bring Dragon Quest over there. They need to know something about the system to consider it. So they know a little more than we do. Or maybe a lot more. And like I said, no plans for North America right now, but they said they'll consider it, as they have done in the past with other Dragon Quest titles. So cross your fingers if you're looking for it. But yeah, 3DS and PS4 are confirmed. NX is under consideration. But that could all be, those could all be moot points because we might never get the game here. Nintendo, I mean, the update's out now. There was an update for Smash Brothers to get a whole bunch of new stuff. Tournament mode, new stages, such as Peach's Castle from the Nintendo 64 version and Hyrule Castle from the Nintendo 64 version. You can get those stages. There's a whole bunch of new Mii Fighter costumes, and like I said, tournament mode as well. So you can, even more reasons to play Smash. LED Mirror Knight says, finally, now I need to get a better internet connection. Like I said, that's out now, so go enjoy it. Nintendo posts their best fiscal quarter one results since 2012. Now, that's the kind of news we want to hear. I was very happy to see this. Here's a little bit of a breakdown. They generated more than $729 million in sales, which is up from the same period last year. operating income of 9.3 million, and analysts were expecting a loss of around 1 million. So this is a major improvement from last year. This is their first positive operating income since 2011. And Nintendo says a lot of this has to do with Splatoon, which sold 1.62 million copies so far. And the company expects to generate 4.6 billion in sales and 404 million in operating income for the rest of 2016. That's the fiscal year, not like the numbered year. This is for Fred Duck says, this is for fiscal year Q1 2016. Who made their calendar? Yeah, fiscal years and regular years are different. We have our updated first-party million seller list. I'll start at the bottom and work my way up. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS sold 3.7 million copies. Tomodachi Life sold 4.3 million. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon sold 4.5 million. Smash Brothers on 3DS sold 7.04 million. Animal Crossing New Leaf did 9.1 million. New Super Mario Bros. 2 sold 9.3 million. Super Mario 3D Land sold 10.10 million. So the 3D Mario outsold the 2D Mario. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did 10.27 million combined. Mario Kart 7 did 11.92 million. Pokemon X and Y did 14 million. It's 13.99, but you know. And then on the Wii U, Wii Party U did 1.57 million. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD did 1.57 million. Splatoon at 1.6 million. New Super Luigi U at 2.2 million. Smash Brothers Wii U at 3.8 million. Super Mario 3D World at 4.3 million. New Super Mario Brothers U at 4.8 million. So on consoles, the 2D Mario did better than the 3D Mario. Nintendo Land at 4.8 million and Mario Kart 8 at 5.4 million. So while the install base of the Wii U might be small, it has some pretty good sales with software. Program Ninja says Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire has sold 2 times as much as Smash. Also this week, we learned that at one time, Rare was developing a sister title to Perfect Dark, which was called Velvet Dark. Velvet was the sister of Joanna. And the document, there was some confusion as to what system this was in development for, but it seems like it was the N64, and knowing Rare, it would have got moved to the GameCube. But they were talking about adding in Game Boy Advance compatibility for something, we don't know what. But it didn't get very far, obviously, because we didn't see anything from the Perfect Dark franchise until the Xbox 360, right? Yeah, Xbox 360. So that series went a little dormant for a while, and look at how much we've seen of it since then. Big Daddy Steve says, talk about a completely different history, assuming this was canned because they were bought by Microsoft. Of course, if it was in development for the 64, maybe it was canned for a different reason. You think that late in the life cycle of the 64, though, that they'd move it to the GameCube. Yeah, that's what I said. Which would put it in line with the buyout. Could be. Oh, God. My favorite story of the whole week. Man, I love this story. Super Mario Maker. We've seen what the skinny mushroom does. People have noticed the skinny mushroom in previous videos. Very quickly popped up, but we didn't know what it did. The skinny mushroom changes Mario into a very tall, lanky version of himself. So if you're looking at the 8-bit Mario, or Mario, I'll try and say Mario from now on. If you're looking at the 8-bit Mario, his head is exactly the same. It's the 8-bit head that you're used to. But his body is that of, like, I'd say like a normal person. It's like a normally proportioned person instead of like shorter, stubby, chubby guy. It's very funny looking. The combination of his regular 8-bit face with the longer body is so good. I laugh at it every time I see it. G-Man Star says Mario looks sexy. Yes, definitely. So we have a nice screen capture of it. Oh my God, I love it. I laugh at it every time. I cannot. That's all I'm going to do in this game is put those mushrooms everywhere. Mr. Koi says, this is kind of terrifying. Yes, I'll also agree with that. It's very weird looking. All right, North America, this week's digital downloads. We got Badland Game of the Year Edition, We also got Zeo Drifter on the Wii U. You guys, you should play Zeo Drifter. It's like Metroid. It's just a shorter experience. It's exactly like Metroid, except it's got a great, unique twist on how weapons are handled. You customize the weapon the way you want. You want it to shoot fast. You want it to shoot big bullets. You want it to shoot wavy shots. You do all that in real time, on the fly. You could change it for every single person or enemy you fight if you want to. It's always on the touchscreen. You change little pips on the screen to make the pip gun shoot differently. It's great. I love that game. Lots of secrets. Check it out. You gotta play it. Cross-buy on that as well. If you buy the Wii U version, you'll also be able to download the N3DS version, which we call the Nintendo 3DS, for free. And it goes the same the other way around. So if you bought the 3DS version, you get the Wii U version free. New Splatoon update we did. Just Dance 2016 is here as well. Again, that's a demo, and demos are free. Celebrate Kirby's August 1st birthday with 3 classic Kirby games. Blah, 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 blah. The Kirby games are all on Wii U Virtual Console. You get Kirby Squeak Squad, the Nintendo DS game. You get Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, or the Crystal Shards for longtime podcast listeners. And my personal favorite Kirby game ever, as far as mainline Kirby games go, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Man, I thought that Kirby game was so good. It was like everything I wanted from a traditional Kirby game with great level design, great soundtrack. Oh, I really like that game. That is my favorite. If you haven't played that, I highly suggest you do it. I don't care if you go through the download version on the Wii U or if you pick up a used copy at GameStop. Just play it. Deals on Elliot Quest, High Strangeness, 99 Moves, Abyss, and Rock Zombie. Sorry, I think I'm going to sneeze. 3DS got Castle Conqueror Defend. Oh, I'm sorry. These games are on sale. Castle Conqueror Defender, Demon King Box, and Quell Memento. Toys vs. Monsters is also on sale. Miiverse has been updated with a new look and new features. There's a new screenshot album and a play journal. So if you're a Miiverse fan, there's some new stuff to check out. Codename Steam's Sink or Swim tournament is going on right now, and that runs through to August 9th, so you still got some time left. Oh, dearie me. New 3DS themes this week include the Etrian Odyssey Untold 2 Classic theme, and there's been a permanent price reduction on Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. It was $20, or it was $30, and now it's $20. Also new this week, Endless Golf. Now that's on Wii U. There's a game on mobile devices, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's exactly the same. The only thing that's different with this game is the color scheme, but it's a clear ripoff. The mobile one was a lot of fun, but it was free. This other one is not free, obviously. But if it plays the same, I don't know. I don't want to buy a knockoff, but I do like the mobile one. Best of Board Games Mahjong and Best of Board Games Solitaire are both available on the 3DS. And then we also got Flick Golf 3D. So there's your downloads. I'm sure some of you will be getting a Kirby. Guy Bonds has posted a image, which is a meme. It says, "Why can't I hold all of these games?" And it's, the Lime guy. The guy that's sitting in our living room right now, holding a whole bunch of games, specifically Kirby stuff. We call him George because it's an advertisement for George, like clothing. But we have that poster in our living room. Not poster, we have the official ad from Walmart because Lube was throwing it out from his Walmart, so we have it. Amiibo are successful. Did you know that? I'm sure some of you were at Best Buy this morning trying to get your Dark Pit. So hopefully if you did go, you got yours. I believe our friend Coleman was there at his local Best Buy, and he managed to get one early this morning. So like I said, I hope you guys got one if you're standing out in line at early. But Amiibo have sold 14.7 million units since their launch. So what? Mostly $12 a pop, $13 a pop, pretty penny there. And Nintendo's planning on selling another 3.4 million in the next fiscal year. I plan on buying 3.4 million of Rob the Robot Amiibo on my own. So I'm sure Nintendo's going to hit that goal. I'm willing to do some pretty terrible things to get that Rob Amiibo. I'll sell myself on the corner if I have to. Sissy Botbox says, one of the smartest things they've ever done, and I'm so happy they have. I have Zero Suit Samus, Mega Man, Olimar, Toon Link, Dark Pit, and Ness amiibos. Nearly all of them characters that would have been made into affordable figurines. I'm going to start this again. Nearly all of them characters that would have never been made into affordable figurines to be found on game toy shop shelves without their dedication to making a figure for every Smash character. Figured that one out. I feel like a kid again when I find a character I really want in the shop, like Olimar. And it's a testament to how desirable they are when they can get someone like me who rarely ever buys gaming merch or toys in general to buy multiple at 11 pounds a pop. Thanks, Game Freak. Game Freak's wishing me luck on my Rob hunt. Or on the street corner, maybe he's saying good luck. Yeah, I don't have many amiibo, but I am going to get the Rob amiibo. It will be mine. I'm going to have it. I want that Rob amiibo badly. And the same, equal interest in the Chibi Robo amiibo. I will definitely have that one. Want to put them in nice little plexiglass cases and put them up on my shelf and bow to them every day when I go up the stairs to start work. Oh, I want them. I don't know why I want them so bad. I love Chibi Robo, so that's why I want that one. And I play as Rob in Smash Brothers as my main, so that's why I want him. But, you know, like, oh, just want him so bad. I wish I was looking at him right now. GameStop, there's a rumor about some of their amiibo stuff. It sounds like they're going to have a 3-pack available at GameStop, and it's going to be a retro 3-pack of amiibo. And I don't mean retro amiibo as in amiibo that have already released, but amiibo that are from classic games. So rumor has it that this event will happen on August 8th, and it'll be early in the morning. And GameStop's going to be selling a special retro 3-pack of amiibo, and that 3-pack includes Rob, Duck Hunt, and Mr. Game & Watch. I mean, Rob, you know how I feel. Duck Hunt would be cool to have. Mr. Game & Watch I don't really care about, but if that's the only way I can get Rob, I'm doing it. Apparently each store is going to have approximately 30 available for pre-order, and pre-orders will be the traditional go into the store and put $5 down. You're not going to have to use their in-store web shopper computer setup, whatever the hell that thing is. And, you know, if the store takes more pre-orders than they get, then those people are screwed. And with this 3-pack being a GameStop exclusive, it seems like GameStop isn't going to get solo Robs, solo Duck Hunt, or solo Mr. Game & Watch. Those amiibo are going to be sold by themselves and other retailers, but it sounds like GameStop's not going to have them. So if you plan on getting all 3 of those, you can get yourself a fancy exclusive 3-pack at GameStop, if the rumor's to be believed. Master of Monster says, may have to get this together with the individual ones. Would look nice in a set of 3. If this somehow comes out in Sweden, I mean. Well, I hope it does, sir. I hope you don't have to pay an inordinate amount of money on eBay or whatever the popular auction site is where you are to get that 3-pack. But again, just a rumor for now. But these amiibo rumors have been pretty spot on. Yes, Game Freak, they will be sold exclusively somewhere else. No worries. G-Man Sir is very angry that I said I don't care about Mr. Game & Watch. It's not that I don't care about him. Like, I like the character, but as far as amiibo goes, like, if I have him, nice. If I don't have him, that's okay too. I don't want to take Mr. Game & Watch away from someone that really wants him. Like, I want people to have the same desire I have for Chibi Robo or Rob. So if there's someone out there that feels that way about Mr. Game & Watch, I do not want to take him from them, because I know how important Rob and Chibi Robo are to me. So I wouldn't feel right buying the 3-pack. But like I said, if that's the only way I can get my Rob, I'm definitely doing it. I'll just sell the other ones or do a giveaway on the site. All right. That's your top stories for today, people. Close that. That's good. What did I play this week? I didn't play too much. I haven't been playing too much. I've been busy working and stuff like that. Just haven't had the time. It's been a busy week, actually. when I do get to play stuff, I've been playing stupid stuff on my phone. I've been, Nikki Hill would be proud, I've been addicted to Frozen Free Fall, which is something he was addicted to for a while. God damn it. What did I do here? Yeah, he was, it's a match 3 game and it's a free to play game. But I love Bejeweled and I love Candy Crush, but I won't play Candy Crush anymore since I read about how horrible King was to their to other game developers and stealing ideas and stuff like that. So I miss playing Candy Crush. I greatly miss it. And I greatly miss playing Bubble Witch Saga, but I am not playing them. I will not give King my patronage. So I play knockoffs and stuff like that. But Disney's Frozen Free Fall is pretty damn good. I like it. If you're into the match 3 kind of thing, I'm enjoying it a bit. I also downloaded Angry Birds too because I'm a big fan of Angry Birds. But I feel like the free-to-play has ruined it. Now, old Angry Birds, like, the other 8 million of them that came out, or 12, whatever it is, or 13, you could do a level as many times as you wanted. If you failed, you did it again. If you failed, you did it again. If you failed, you did it again. This one, they took the popular free-to-play mechanic of lives and added it in. So you get 3 lives without paying for more. And after that, you have to wait like 17 minutes to get a life or 20 minutes to get a life. So, like, your play could be over very quickly. And it sucks. I feel like that really ruined the experience. Maybe going from how it used to be to how it is now, I feel it really hurts the experience. It really makes me angry. Because there are a lot of levels I would like to play, but I just... you mess up on one level a couple times and it's over. That's it. You got to wait another 20-something minutes. So it really, really irks me. I'm hoping at the very least they'll do an update where they add hello Microtic, where they add more lives as a base default. Like instead of 3, make it 5. 5 seems to be the regular in most of those free-to-play games. But yeah, your game can be over very quickly. You could play for like 5 minutes and that'll be it. If you get a hard level, 5 minutes and it's over. Like with Frozen Free Fall, you'll get hard levels, but you have 5 lives, then you can really take your time on a lot of them unless it's a specifically timed challenge. But yeah, it really makes me upset because the gameplay itself is good. I really like Angry Birds. The gameplay itself is fun, but the free-to-play stuff, how they've changed it from the first one, has really taken a lot of the fun out of it. I almost deleted it off my phone yesterday, but I was like, I'll keep it on there just in case they update it, or I don't know, just because I'm not spending money on it. I'm not going to buy lives because I am against that idea. Like I buy a pack of 5 lives, those will be gone like tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I would rather have a paid version of the game. Let me pay $5 so I can have the game and not have to worry about that stuff. I would love to do that. I don't want to do all these microtransactions, but that's not an option right now. Unless I'm dumb and it is an option, but I don't think it is. Fireflame says, I have played Streets of Rage 2 on 3DS. It's really good. Yes, Fireflame. That's one of the games I did play on a traditional console, or platform, I should say. I'm a huge fan of Streets of Rage 2, and I love that 3DS version. Play it over and over, no matter what system it's on, but the 3DS version has such care put into it. It's very obvious. And I cannot stress again how amazing that pop-out 3D is. Sega really knows their stuff when it comes to that. It looks fantastic, especially if you're playing on a new 3DS or a new 3DS XL. Holy moly, does it look good. Haley says, Steven Universe on iOS is amazing. I knew it had a mobile game, but I don't know what the game is. Like, I don't know what type of game it is, but I'm always down to try out something. I had a lot of stuff I downloaded this week that I didn't play. I downloaded Rocket League on PS4, like I said I was going to, and I played 1 match, and that was it. I loved it. I just didn't have time to play more. I downloaded Journey because I bought the PS3 one, and you get the PS4 one for free, and that's one of my favorite games ever, so I got that. I downloaded N++ because I'm a huge fan of that franchise, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. So I spend my time downloading games and not playing them. Seems like I play more games on Nintendo systems and download more games on the other systems. there was lots of Wii U playing going on here this week, but I was not playing it. Friends came over and played Mario Kart 8, and I was watching them play, and they had a blast. Had some people who have never played before and were really getting into it. And another friend come play Splatoon. She had her first taste of Splatoon a few weeks ago and was like really digging it. And she wanted to have a Splatoon night, and I was like, I'm down with that. Come over and play. So she played a few online matches and then went right into single player and played single player for quite a good amount of time. So I love watching people play games. I'm cool with that. That makes me happy because I love games so much. It brings me a lot of joy to see other people play them. So she played a lot of Splatoon. That was a lot of fun. She's about halfway through single player, so I'm excited to see her tackle the rest. And then Dew Michaels was here this week, and he was playing Final Fantasy VII for years and years and years and years, probably pretty much since it came out. Dew Michaels has said, I want to remake a Final Fantasy VII, you know, just like millions of other people. I want to remake, I want to remake, I want to remake, I want to remake. The remake was announced, and he's like, oh, I'm nervous now. I don't know if they should do a remake. So I was like, well, you can still play the original and enjoy it. So I had downloaded the original on, I guess, PS3. I guess you could play it on there. I don't remember. So I had it, but I have a PlayStation TV now. I've had it for a few weeks just because I love playing old school stuff. So that's a great way, an easy way to do it rather than me hooking up my PS3. So we had the PlayStation TV set up, and he was playing Final Fantasy VII. And we were, you know, reliving all the moments. And he's much, 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 much more familiar with it than I am. I played through to beat it back in the day, and I know a lot about it. And I remember the soundtrack perfectly. But there's plenty of parts of the game and the gameplay that I don't remember. So it was fun to see him go through it and play that. But yes, we were reliving things. And, you know, that game is still impressive today. Like the way the camera movements are handled and some of the cinematic stuff that's used and angles for cutscenes and stuff like that. It felt new and fresh to me now. So, granted, I don't play a lot of RPGs, so maybe I'm missing out on stuff. But it gave me a little tingle, made me feel a little tingly. I was like, this is some nice stuff. I see why so many people like this game. But yeah, he put in, I don't know, 3 or so hours. We hung out. I did work on the site. We both had some pizza. He played Final Fantasy VII. It was a good time. No complaints there. And my friend R-Type from the podcast came over. And 2 nights in a row, he was playing Earthbound on the Wii U Virtual Console. It's something we do over the summer. He does not have a lot of free time. I do not have a lot of free time, but our free time chances merge in the summer just because he can come over here and hang out, and I'm always here working. So he came over, he was playing Earthbound, which is something, like I said, we've been doing for a couple summers now. So one day we will get through the game. Right now, what did he do? He finished up the gold mine portion of the game where you're going around and killing the moles so you can get the gold to save the whatever they are, the musicians, the Blues Brothers ripoffs. Save them from the bad mayor in the town that won't let them out of their contract. So he was playing that, finished up the mine, took care of all the moles in there. You know, every mole that says I have the power of in between the second mole and the fourth mole, and they're all the third mole. They all call themselves mole number 3. They just say it in different ways. Congratulations, Game Freak. He says I just finished Earthbound for the first time a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we were playing that. I was drawing a map as he was going through there because that's a maze and a confusing part of the game. But it's fun. So lots of old school fun going on here. Lots of new stuff too. Like I said, I may not be playing all of it, but I enjoy watching people play. And I've been busy, so I haven't had the free time to play as much as I want to. But lots of gaming going on, which always makes me happy. I could do a whole podcast just about how much I love games. You know, beyond the just like games are fun to play. You know, like games are important to me. But that's for another show. So that's our show. That's my show. That's your show. That's our show. We're done. 520 in the bag. Feel like it was a good 520. Maybe not a huge celebration, but I felt it had some heart. We had some laughs. had some tears. I had some tears. I don't know if you had tears. But it felt good. Felt right. Felt like a 10th anniversary episode. Had the traditional, had the new, gave you some details on some secret stuff coming up. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. I feel it's about a 7 out of 10. So thank you for listening if you're listening at home or anywhere else. And thank you for watching this video if you're watching it after the live stream. And thank you if you're in the chat right now. And thank you if you're watching it live right now. I greatly appreciate it, but we have come to the close of episode 520, and we will be back next week with 521 and probably have more traditional people on it. So again, thank you to everyone that's ever listened. Thank you to anyone that's ever watched. Thank you for everyone that's ever commented or gone in the chat. Thank you to everyone that ever goes to GoNintendo or follows us on Twitter or checks out our Instagram. I very much appreciate it, and will never be able to accurately describe how much it means to me. For there would be no GoNintendo. There would be no GoNintendo podcast without GoNintendo.com. There would be no GoNintendo.com without the Blogspot that I used to run. And there would be no Blogspot without you guys. You are the beginning of it all, and you've been here for over 10 years, and you make it all possible. So thank you. And that's why we'll have show 521 next week, no matter what. So take it easy. Enjoy your weekend. Play some games. Have some fun. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. And I'm going to end the live stream now, too, because I have to get back to work. It's a regular day, so I don't have some time in between rounds. So sorry to leave you quickly, but thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being awesome. And thanks for joining us on this random podcast on a Friday. But yeah, next week, should be regular time unless something pops up, but should be. Might not be, might not. I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, everybody.